licensed social worker and also a mental health therapist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I work at Hand in Hand Counseling Services. Been doing therapy for almost 12 years, fresh out of grad school. I got my bachelor's in human development and family studies at Penn State University. Got my master's in social work from Pitt. Outside of that, I do a lot of speaking engagements. I have my own YouTube series called JG Mental Health Fridays, and also I'm a proud member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. I joined my organization. My first was back there, that's why. Joined my organization fall 2009 and been active in my organization for 15 years and everything. So today's topic is called "You Have the Space to Heal." When I got asked to speak this evening, and they asked me to talk about what is the theme I wanted to give tonight, I wanted to let you know that you all have the space to heal. Most of the times we think that mental health is seen as taboo because of the stigma that's put towards it. But I want to let you know today that mental health is not a taboo thing. It is a part of you. It's part of us. It's part of our system. Normally when I go through different speaking engagements, I always ask this question. I'm going to ask y'all this tonight. What do you normally need for a car to run? And y'all could randomly say anything. Gas. What else? Engine. What else? Transmitter. Come on. What else?
Oil.
Converter, oil. Anything else? All right. So you need all those things for a car to run. So I want you to look at it in the aspect of your mental health. If you don't take care of your mental health, what's going to happen to you?
You're going to break down.
You're going to break down. You're going to crash and burn. All those things. So mental health is a part of you. It's a part of your system. So this evening, I want to talk to you about the dynamics, the stigmas, and also I want to give you some tips to take care of yourselves. All right? So dynamics of mental health. The first dynamic you got to look at is the social and your economic factors. I'm going to give you an example, and y'all going to tell me, how does this impact someone's mental health? A family having to move can impact someone. A family having to move can impact someone. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that could impact someone's mental health? Come on, y'all, don't be shy.
Because their friends won't be around?
Yeah, friends won't be around, so you lose the relationships. What else? Yeah, leaving everything that you probably already knew. So when you move to a different neighborhood, what you gotta do? Start all over again. You gotta start building relationships. You gotta start figuring out what your likes, what your dislikes are again. So when it comes to social economic factors, when things are impacting that aspect, it can impact you when it comes to your mental health. I'm gonna give y'all another example. So say if all of you lost your financial aid tomorrow, what would happen to you? Drop out. What else? What else? Y'all gonna drop out? What else is gonna happen? Y'all won't be in here. And with y'all not being here, getting a good education and try to get your degree, what's gonna happen to your mental health?
Deteriorate.
You're gonna deteriorate. You might crash and burn. You might become stressed. You might get depressed because everything that you've been used to, everything just went away. So mental health can impact with your social economic factors. Let me give you another example. Psychological factors. The developmental process to get through different things in your life. So within all of us, we go through different stages in our lives. From when we was kids to teenagers to now being college students and adults getting into this world. When you go through different paths of your life, some of the things in your life can impact you in a mental health standpoint. So for example, for a kid, learning how to, walk, talk, crawl, learning how to try to make friends. If they don't know how to do those particular things, they might question themselves and say, okay, why am I like this? Mommy and daddy, why y'all made me like this? Teenagers, during teenage years, you're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to identify within yourselves. So most of the times you enter with, mix and mingle with different peer groups. You might get to certain things where you might say, all right, I want to try this, I want to try that, because you're trying to figure out who you are. Same thing in college. When y'all are here on campus, y'all might mix and mingle. Y'all might try to get through different things, join different clubs, join different organizations, because y'all trying to figure out who you are. So when you go through different phases of life, you gotta be mindful that certain things can impact you, and that can impact your mental health. And then also with mental health can impact your health as a whole. So certain things can trigger you to have health problems. I'm gonna share a personal story with y'all. So back in 2018, leaving out of Pittsburgh, going back home to Philadelphia, Thanksgiving Day. Well, the night before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving morning 2018, I woke up, I'm in the ambulance going to the hospital. I'm saying, while I'm in the hospital, they said you had a seizure in your sleep. So I had to stay with my family for a month. That month turned into 3 months because once after the first seizure had went by and passed, I had 2 more seizures back to back, December 10th, 2018. Thinking I was about to come back to Pittsburgh, do what I gotta do, and figure out what's gonna happen next. They said, no, you gotta stay with your family a little bit longer because we all know what's impacting your seizures. We all know why you're having your seizures in your sleep. Mind you, I was working 2 jobs, doing therapy, doing a lot of stuff in my fraternity, making sure everything is straight, but I wasn't taking care of myself. So during that time of me trying to recover and get myself back stable from having my seizures and everything, I started having my own meltdowns. I started breaking down to my family, holding in things that I've been holding in for so long. Having moments where my mom used to say like certain things that triggered me that led me to like lash out or, and go out and everything like that. Been in therapy as well too, for myself and everything. But the reason why I want to share y'all this story because with all those different factors that impacted my life, and even though I am a therapist and a huge advocate of mental health, social work, and all things of that nature, I had to realize within myself that I had to take care of myself too, and everything. So when it comes to taking care of your mental health, be mindful that it can impact your health and your well-being. I'm proud to say I never had a seizure since then. I still take medicine on a daily basis just to make sure that things stay intact. But most of all, what I learned was I always got to take care of myself. And I want all of you to be aware of that too. Always take care of yourself first before you take care of someone else or before you deal with other things. All right, now we're going to go into the stigmas. So certain stigmas of mental health. Most of them, y'all probably already heard of them before, but I want to go through them. First thing, mental health means you're crazy. Soon as automatically you say the word mental health, automatically you think that, oh, you got a problem, oh, something's wrong with you. But that's not really the case. Like I said before, mental health is part of your system, it's part of your well-being. Diagnosis. Most of the times when people get services, go to counseling, go to therapy and everything, and they hear the word that you gotta get diagnosed with something, automatically they think that that diagnosis is a forever thing. When I normally tell my clients, that your diagnosis that you get in services does not mean that you're gonna have that diagnosis forever, because it's about the work that you put in within yourself and while you're in therapy to see where you stand within your life. So when I normally tell my clients that, they kind of get a better understanding that, okay, I'm able to, give therapy a try, or being able to learn more about how to work through some things. And most of my clients actually was able to get their diagnosis changed because of the work and the effort that they put in within themselves. So I want y'all to let y'all know that as well, that your diagnosis, if you was to get services and you get diagnosed with anything, that it doesn't mean that you have it forever. The next stigma, therapy is expensive. We always hear that therapy is expensive because people think that, oh, you got to come out of pocket. Yes, in some cases you might come out of pocket, but the most important thing is with therapy, you can always use your insurance. While all of you are here, y'all are lucky because y'all in college, y'all are able to go get counseling services and stuff based on the different resources that the school provides, where you might not have to come out of pocket, or you might not even have to use your insurance because you're on the campus and everything. But if you're outside of campus and you're, living on your own and everything like that, use your insurance. If you're working in a corporate job, most people don't really realize that in a corporate job, there's a thing called EAP, which is called the Employee Assistance Program. With the Employee Assistance Program, where you're actually able to get free services through your job and everything. So being able to, pay attention to that. So whenever somebody says, oh, therapy is expensive, that's not the case because there's always some resources out there. And then also another thing that's impactful with that is because during the pandemic, a lot of different organizations was able to give out grants and give out funding for individuals that lack services, that's not able to get insurance or any different things to be able to get the services that they need. Another stigma, they will give me medicine. Most of the times when anybody hear therapy or going to counseling, things like that, automatically they think that they automatically get medicated. That's not the case. I know within my practice, I normally educate my clients and say, no, we're not going to put you on medication right then and there because we got to learn more about you. We got to learn about what's the reason why you're doing this. We got to learn the reason why certain things are impacting you and everything. So we're not going to put medicine on you or anything like that. Medicine is a last resort and everything. So don't think that medicine is an automatically cure for everything because we got to figure out what else is going on. Family. Family is another stigma because within family, we always hear about, that whatever happens in this house stays in this house. Or we always hear about, well, I don't want you to put my business out there. Or I don't think you should try this because we never used to do this back in my day. That's a stigma in itself too. So don't let certain family get to you when it comes to getting your needs met. And then lastly, as a stigma is beliefs. So I know there's some beliefs that we have to follow and everything like that, but also be mindful of how those beliefs can impact what you need in your life. All right. Now, the last bit of information before I take questions, I want to give you some tools of resources. The first thing, verbalize your emotions. So don't hold your emotions in. If you need to just voice them out right then and there, go ahead and do it. I don't want you to bottle it up because if you bottle it up and someone triggers you right in that moment, you're going to lash out. You might lash out at the wrong person. You might lash out at the wrong time. So be able to verbalize your emotions. The second thing, do something that makes you happy. So whenever you're down and out or you're, trying to get a little pick me up, do something that makes you feel good. Do something that makes you feel joyful and happy. Third thing, have a support network. Make sure you have a good group of friends that's around you. I know my frat brothers and stuff back there. Anytime I go through something outside of work and everything, I always go to them. We got a group chat. We hang out almost every day and we talk about different things for me to get through life and everything. So always have a good support network around you. That could be friends, that could be family, that could be even professional resources that you'd be able to talk to and say, hey, I just need something right in this moment. Use your resources. So anything that's given to you that could be beneficial to you, definitely use it. Y'all are here getting an education, but also y'all paying money here. I don't know some of y'all got scholarships and everything of that nature, but take advantage of the things that the school is offering and everything. And then lastly, if you feel like there's a need that you need to try to get more help and support, definitely give therapy a try. Break out that stigma to say, nah, I don't want to, give it a try yet. You never know by just taking the first step, just going into the office to see what it looks like first. Because most of the times, most people think that as soon as they step foot in the office, that they got to do this. That's not the case, because before we even get into the work of everything, we got to build a relationship with you first. So be able to step foot in that office and everything. Again, so I'm going to go through it one more time. Verbalize your emotions. Do something that makes you happy. Have a support network. Use your resources and give therapy a try. All right. That's all I want to leave with. Now I'm open to take any questions. Go ahead.
Did you say your YouTube was?
So on YouTube, you just type in JG Mental Health Fridays, and then my name will pop up, Johnnie Geathers. I've been doing JG Mental Health Fridays for next month will make it 5 years. I started it during the pandemic. during that start of the pandemic, before I had worked at the private practice where I'm at right now, I was working at another organization, and during the pandemic, we all got furloughed. So what furlough means was everybody had to get let go because of the pandemic happening, and they didn't know what was next and what to do and everything of that nature. So during that time, I was like, okay, what can I do to still help people? And that's when I got the idea to start making videos. And with Jay-Z Mental Health Fridays, I just do different topics. And just share like different resources and also provide coping skills for people to practice. Since then, I do it every Friday. People do reach out to me and say, hey, John, can you talk about this topic? And I normally will give out, that topic and give that person a shout out. I won't say their names because I want to respect the confidentiality of it all. But, I'd say shout out to, so-and-so for giving me this topic, you know who you are, and things of that nature. But I love doing those videos because, one, it was an outlet for me to get through the pandemic, but also I knew it was an outlet for people to get resources and support. All right. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
You talked about a stigma and our belief.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean, like religious belief?
Yeah, so it could be religious belief. It could be just like your own standard belief of like traditional values and everything, where you might feel like, okay, I gotta follow this path, but not really making your own decision of what you feel is right for you and everything. And I normally share that with most of my clients too, especially when it comes to religious beliefs, because one, as a therapist, I gotta respect everybody. I gotta respect, who they are, regardless of sex, race, gender, anything of that nature. But I always, let them know that, make your decision on what you see fit for yourself. But also, I don't want you to feel like, okay, I got to do this because of this. So make, your own fair decision. Anything else? Any other questions? Anyone have questions? Come on, y'all. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to ask any questions. Go ahead. Thank you.
What are the different types of therapy, and how do you know which one is right for you?
All right, so the different types of therapy. So there is a lot of different types of therapy you could do. The most common one is CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is focused on your emotions, your thoughts, and your behaviors. Another one that's most common as well is dialectical behavior therapy, which is basically focusing on your thought process, but more so seeing it in a sense of awareness. But in the aspect of therapy and which therapy works for you, it's based on the intake that you have to do. So before a client gets started in services, they gotta go through an intake assessment. And within the intake assessment, once we go through like their background, their history, and those things of that nature, and also seeing what their diagnosis is going to be right from that intake, that helps us to really determine what type of therapy they would need, what type of support that they would need and such. But the most common ones, based on my experience of, what I've been through, it's just like CBT, DBT. A lot of my clients, mainly, most of them deal with adjustment disorder. So adjustment disorder is basically dealing with different changes in their lives. So basically I use that as an outlet for them just to share their emotions, teach them different coping skills. Another thing I like to do, which I do with my adult group, which I just started with the second cohort last week, and I start my second cohort with my teen summer group tomorrow, is expressive arts. Expressive arts is basically just using arts and crafts, music, writing, journaling, just to be able to just express themselves. All right. Any other questions? Y'all sure? Y'all sure? Y'all ain't got no questions? All right, I'm gonna have y'all do an exercise, all right? So, I want y'all to close your eyes. Just relax. And I just want you to listen to what I'm gonna say. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. While you're listening to my voice, I want you to think of something that is red. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. I want you to think of something that is red. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the count of 10, I'm going to have you open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open your eyes. So, what's the first thing that came to your mind as soon as I said the color red? And anybody can share. Go ahead.
Large fire.
Large fire. All right, go ahead.
A fire truck.
A fire truck. Okay. I see y'all collaborating. All right. Go ahead.
Stop sign.
A stop sign. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Watermelon. Okay. All right. I want you to close your eyes again. Breathe in.